Thank you. First of all, I'm extremely excited to be here. One thing to let you know, two things actually. If my hair looks terrible, I forgot to wear pants. So this is what it looks like from behind, so my hair doesn't sit well. So please note that if you're taking photos. And the other thing too is that I am not a developer. So I don't talk HTML, CSS, ABC, I don't know about it. So one of the reasons why I go ahead and use plugins is it saves me a damn lot of time. And also it looks really good. So what I want to do is I want to talk you through 21 of my absolute favorite plugins. A lot of them are you should add them to your tool belt the minute you go ahead and have your new WordPress account, you've uploaded your theme. These are the ones that you want to add on super quickly. And then number 21 is my favorite procrastinating tool. So first of all, for you ladies, let's stare at this awesome looking man. But plugins are really WordPress's sexy brother. So they not only make it look really great, they can extend the functionality. I use it a lot, especially with layouts for my security and even for playing games when I get bored. But they can do quite a lot. And one of the reasons why I really want to talk about it is not just because it saves you time, but I even want to show you just how much time it saves. So I thought we would play a really quick game because I don't actually need my whole 45 minutes to tell you how awesome they are. So please go ahead and stand up for me. Sorry, I'm one of those annoying people. Stand up. Great. If you haven't met the person next to you, please shake their hand and go, hi, this is who I am. Great. Okay, so now we're going to do a very simple exercise. We're just going to count to 3. So if you don't mind, I'm going to do an exercise with you. So I'll say 1 and then you say 2, 3, and then you say 1 again. No, 1. Okay. So only can.
Okay, good.
All right, we'll do it again. 1,
2,
3,
1,
2,
3.
Okay, so it doesn't sound that hard, but I'll make it a little bit harder. So try that with your partner next to you, and if you're in a 3, then try it together and then swap. You can't just count to 3 because that doesn't work. I'll do it with you again. You can start with 1.
Okay. So 1,
2,
3,
1,
2,
3,
1,
2,
3,
3. Oh! Okay, right. Now I'm going to make it a little bit harder for you. So instead of number 1, I'd like you to say woof, like a dog. I want you to bark for me. So we'll practice. Woof.
2,
3,
woof,
2,
3,
woof,
2,
3. All right, try it now. Yep, woof, 2, 3. All right, I should be catching a couple of you now. All right, now change number 2. Now change number 2 to meow. And I want you to really enunciate it. Meow. So we'll try. Woof.
Meow.
3.
Woof.
Meow.
3.
Woof.
Meow.
3. All right, go for it. A little bit louder. All right, great. Now while you're all standing, if you have a business card, pick it up and then move it and hand it to the person next to you, and hopefully it ends up right here, and then I'll contact you all on LinkedIn so we can catch up. So go ahead and do that and pass to the person next to you. Fabulous. I am in social media, so I will contact you. So there's a couple things that I first want to talk about. We can just create a bunch in the middle if you like. Thank you. What are you actually looking for in a plugin? So sometimes you're saying, listen, I need a membership plugin or I need a security plugin. What are you actually looking for? So a couple things. Number 1 is you're looking for that 5-star rating. If it's a 0-star, you probably don't want it. This means that people don't like it, they're not using it, or if there's heaps of people that have used it, they've given them really crappy ratings. So probably don't go for one with 0 stars. You also want to go for the next one under that, and that is the amount of active installs. So you want to make sure that a lot of people have installed it. If you've gone for, let's say, a plugin, thank you, that has heaps of installs but really bad ratings, guess what? People have thought it's really great, maybe there's been a WordPress update, and then suddenly it's not working, the developers aren't supporting it anymore, and it's just not a great plugin anymore. So probably don't go for one that doesn't have many active installs or has a combination of really bad ratings but heaps of active installs. The next one is last updated. So you want to make sure that the plugin developers are actually keeping an eye on it. There are going to be bugs when things change. When WordPress goes ahead and does an update, that can affect the way the plugin works. So the last thing you want to do is go for a plugin that was last updated 2 years ago. Then you have a good idea that there's no real support. If you are having issues, you love the plugin, but it's just not working the way you want it to, you just know that you're not going to be able to get that support. So I probably wouldn't go anything that hasn't been updated in the last 2 or 3 months. So try and go for one, and this one was only a week ago. Also look at the compatibility. So a couple of them will come up, and I think you'll see them throughout my slides. A couple of them will say this is compatible with your version of WordPress. Some of them, like this one, is compatible up to version 4.2.2. So hopefully there'll be another rendition coming up, but everyone is still really happy. And when you are considering your ratings, which is this one has a 4.9 out of 5 stars, you can see the amount of people that have given it a 5-star rating and the amount of people that have also given it the 4, 3, 2, and 1. One of my major recommendations would be have a look at what the 5 stars are. Have people said, oh, listen, I love it, but go for the premium version. If you really want to unlock everything it has, I recommend premium. Then go ahead and have a look at, let's say, number 3. These are people going, yeah, it's great, pretty crappy to install, had to get a developer to do it for me. This gives you an idea of people that are just okay with it. Sometimes these can be people who aren't developers, they're not extremely web savvy, they've just jumped on and thought it was a quick plug and play, and for this one it wasn't and they didn't read the instructions. Then also I'd recommend go look at the 1 stars. So most of the time I find that the 1 stars are usually people just bitching about it, their theme's broken down, and that's why it won't work. But I've got 2 examples of, so 5-star, which is best WordPress security plugin, get it, nothing more to say. And then this other one, which obviously isn't that great either, so it just kept crashing their site. However, this could have been a side issue. So other things that you need to know about plugins is plugin maintenance. You actually need to maintain them. There is going to be a point where they, if they're inactive. Let's say if you've bought a theme and then you don't want to go with contact form 7, so you've gone, nope, you've deactivated it, but you haven't removed it from your plugins, you've decided to go for Gravity Forms instead. Plugins are still going to go ahead and take up space. So the best thing to do is just go ahead and delete them. You don't need them anymore, and it's really easy to turn around and reactivate them. Most of them too, if you've gone from a premium license, keep that license code, and even if you delete it, you can go ahead and add the license code again, as long as it's on the same website. Make sure that they are up to date. So with Wordfence security, and I'm talking about that one next, that one actually sends you an email when you properly set it up, when one of your plugins is out of date. Let's say, for example, if one of your major security plugins was out of date, and now you are, or like a Kismet, and now you're getting major spammers coming in, then that's a really great email to receive to go, oh, okay, cool. Maybe I'll just go ahead and make sure that it's up to date. So I want to install the new version. So review the install, so make sure that you actually review the actual installation information before you go ahead and hit activate. Some of them are going to be really hard, some of them are going to be super simple, like you just hit activate and then on the far left bar on your dashboard, there it is, it's nice and easy. Others aren't going to be the same, and if you do have any issues, on the actual plugin page, there's an area for support, so you can actually talk to the developers directly, and there's even a support tab. And back up your website before updating plugins. And I would even, if you have bought a theme, before you go ahead and update your actual theme, if there's a new version, back it up. Either use Updraft, I think there's another one called Vault, or even just back it up directly to your host, but back them up, because I've had a couple times where I've gone ahead and done an update and it's crashed a website. And then luckily I've just gone ahead and just rebooted my last save. So huge recommendation there. Now let's get on to my favorites. I've given myself 2 minutes each, but I think Wordfence is really quick. Wordfence is by far one of the top best security plugins that I would recommend. There are heaps on the market, and this one obviously is free, but I absolutely love it. It also does say that it will make your website run 50 times faster. It ran a little bit faster on mine, but I have it as an immediate install on all of my all the websites that we go ahead and build. If you look on the far left, you can go ahead and see what it actually looks like on the dashboard. So you can see the live traffic that's actually coming in and where they're coming from. So for some reason, I've got one website that keeps trying to get hacked by someone in France, and they keep trying to type in different versions of a URL, because obviously, like, my client is Signara's Hair. They're a hair salon here in Brisbane, and they keep trying to type in the username Signara's Hair. And they've tried admin123, and all the generic passwords. So don't go generic. But I was also able to block their IP from Wordfence. So I saw their IP address come up, and then I just went ahead and copied it directly from my email, pasted it, and then I said block. So now this person can't try and access the admin. You can also see the amount of people that have tried to sign in with a cell phone. I've got a lot of clients who also have SEO managers. They've got staff who go ahead and sign in, and I get a pop-up immediately when someone has gone ahead and logged in. So let's say, for example, if you've got a hacker who has accidentally figured out your password, if it's admin123, change it now. But if they've gone ahead and typed in admin123 and it worked, then I get a ping which says someone from France has now activated under this username, and this is how many times they tried to log in. Then I'll know straight away that's none of my staff, and I can boot them off. So this is extremely important plugin. You can do a password audit. It lets you know the strength of your password, and you can do a whole country blocking. I wouldn't do that. You can schedule your, you can scan your website just to see how secure it actually is, and there's obviously a couple more. So Wordfence is an absolute number one. So if that's only one thing that you learned from me today, put Wordfence on. Updraft Plus. So this is kind of the plugin that I love to hate. I go ahead and I do install it on all of my, all the websites that I go ahead and build. This one's really great because you can go ahead and schedule in a full backup of the website. So how this one works is that it will go ahead initially and do a full backup, and then it, if you choose a backup, let's say in 3 days, then it will go and have a look to see what's changed. Oh, yep, there's been a change to the database, and then it will say, we've only backed up the database, or we've backed up photo files, and this is the file size. The great thing is that you can easily, let's say if you've done a plugin, you've posted it, and then for some reason it's crashed a part of the website, but you're still logged into the dashboard, then just go back into Updraft and then you can hit restore, and then it will show you the last time that you had the restore date. Click on that, shows you all the files that are in there, and then it's really quick, and then you're back up and running. So if you're one of those people that you just want to make sure that if anything really bad happens, your website is safe, use Updraft. So another thing that I do recommend though is that if you want, Updraft has been a little bit funny for me. I have had one occasion where I was doing backups once a week, and then for some reason I had an issue. I turned around, did a restore, and then I had one page missing, a couple of images also missing. And I mean, it was minor, I could fix it in minutes, but it was a little bit glitchy. So, but I've used it probably about 80 times in the last month, and I've only had one hiccup. So it's pretty damn good. WordPress SEO, I'm probably going through half the ones that you're already like, yeah, I've ticked them off. But WordPress SEO by Yoast, this is an absolute must. For some of you that if you haven't updated this plugin in a long time, quite a while ago, if you did have this on your computer, when you were going ahead and writing content for a page or a post, you'd be seeing this information where it says focus keyword, SEO title. You can see your whole snippet. One thing is where it used to say focus keyword, you could actually type in keywords. And that was quite a while ago. So there's a couple websites that now when I go ahead and manage, then there's like 50 different keywords all in there. Now you've got to turn around and reduce it to one. So they've only changed one little thing, which is a keyword, instead of keywords, it's keyword. So make sure that you're really specific. I'll always recommend a long tail keyword. Instead of just going for hair, go for hairdressing salon Brisbane, Brisbane Development Agency. Go for a long tail, don't go for a short. It's not very good for your SEO. But this one I highly recommend. There is actually a paid section of this, but I've never used it because I never had to. But if you have, let us know. It also has XML sitemaps. So if you want, once you're happy with your website and you have to go ahead and submit your website to Webmaster Tools, you need to have an XML sitemap. This will help you do that. Google Analytics. So I work on heaps of websites and I don't have the time to go into Google Analytics and look at their website at the same time. So I have this particular widget on their dashboard. So basically when you log in, it appears on the left. I can choose if I want to see the last 7 days of traffic. I can see the bounce rate, how many pages. It's really, really handy. And it also has quite a bit of configuration if you want to get super technical. All I had to do when I installed it was just put in my UA code. So just go to Google Analytics, admin, and then if you haven't set it up, it's nice and easy, and then you just copy and paste that UA code, and then within minutes, it's already tracking. So that one's really handy. There's also 400,000 active installs, and it's rated really highly. There's a couple different ones. If you go to the plugins page and type in Google Analytics, you'll find heaps. But this one has the most amount of active users and the one I use most. This one's paid. So I haven't yet used this one, but I specifically want to talk about it. So this is Popular Post Bar Widget. So if you go to Code Canyon, which is a theme forest plugin, this one's pretty cool. So the reason why I want to recommend it is for two reasons. If you have any advertising on your website, usually advertising is always on a sidebar on the right. If you have this particular widget and then have an advertising square either above or below, people's eyes are going to be drawn over to your advertisements and hopefully they're going to click on them. So it's because of the really extreme color. Let's say, for example, if you've got a white background, you've got a nice picture of a black and white image, and then you see this crazy color, our eyes automatically will move over there. So if you've got your services listed on the left, if you have a contact form and subscribe to my newsletter, and that's a major call to action for you, put something with heaps of color there. So this one is really handy. You can go ahead and change the colors, and it shows you on it's a nice and easy setup. You just set it up in widgets as a sidebar. I personally think it's worth the $9, or get really creative and start putting images around, or images or really colorful text right near your advertising. W3 Total Cache. I put this in here because it's it's supposed to 10 times improve the overall site performance. And I've used it and it worked pretty quickly on mine. So the current Superpower Digital website is terrible because I haven't had time to work on it because I'm working on other people's, but it's really slow. And when I went and uploaded this one, then I found a considerable difference. So even if you're just using this for just the site optimization and speed, then I would go ahead and recommend it. Obviously the speaker next after me, he's talking about site speed. So I'm going to be in that one next. So this is the floating social bar. So this is an absolute number one. If your plugin hasn't come with any of the social sharing buttons on a blog, then you can go ahead and actually place them in. So the ones that I've chosen here, I've only got Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. I don't believe it does Instagram, but it can also do Flickr, and I think that was another really weird one. Oh, it does YouTube, and there's another. So it's really nice and easy, and you can choose what you actually want the label to say. So I've chosen Get Sharing, but you can also have another call to action. You can also choose where it is located on the page and whether it's monochromatic, so whether it's black and white or you have gorgeous color. Contact Form 7, I'm pretty sure everyone is using this one, or Gravity Forms. It's really easy to use. And I also find too, I like to receive really nice emails when someone has gone ahead and sent, has requested a callback, or they've gone ahead and asked for, let's say, us to do a service for them. I like it because A, it's really easy to set up, and I can also design what the email looks like when it comes to me. So I think mine says, congratulations, someone's contacted you on this contact form. You should contact them. Hey, why not put them into Pipedrive? So it kind of gives me all my prompts. So, and even if someone else is doing my job, it basically says, hey, tick these off before you go ahead and call them. So Contact Form 7 is really good, has obviously a huge rating. It's got over 1 million active installs, so it's really good. And it was also last updated 1 month ago. And as you can see, it's compatible with my version of WordPress. It's good. Login lockdown. This is also really important. If, let's say you've gone ahead and you've uploaded Wordfence and you're now using it, and you're getting a lot of people that are trying to consistently hack your account. Obviously they're getting it wrong because you've got an amazing strong password, but this way I can say, listen, instead of them unlimitedly trying to go ahead and type in 100 different variations of a password, I'm going to lock it down to 4. So you get 4 chances to get it right, or you're locked out, and I think it's about another 2 or 3 hours until they can go and try and log in. It's really great, but also if you have a staff member who forgets their password, completely forgets that login lockdown is there, then they're locked out. So it's always best, if you do have login lockdown, make sure that you have multiple users and passwords and one default. So wherever you store your sites, wherever you store your passwords, let's say for example, if they get locked out because they put theirs in incorrectly, then have a standard one that they can go ahead and use, just in case. Obviously, you wouldn't do it for blogging, but if they need to update a page, this is perfect. Yeah, but this, I completely recommend it. So WordPress, Updraft, and Lockdown are kind of the major ones I would recommend. If you haven't chosen to go for Wordfence, which helps you with your Google XML sitemap, this is a completely separate plugin that will go ahead and do that for you. It's obviously got 1 million active users. It's really handy. It's a little bit more technical. So if you're not very tech savvy and you're just trying to pump out a really cute blog and don't have time, then probably don't go for this one. Stick with Wordfence. But if you want a little bit more control, then go to XML sitemaps. Broken link checker. How many of you are actually building websites on behalf of clients? Great. This should be a complete stock for you. So on your website checklist, when you go ahead and finish the theme, your layout, you've reviewed the content, this should be one of those plugins that you automatically install and then go, do I have broken links? And then you can go ahead and you can set up the redirect. So you can, and I think that one is really handy. Completely recommend it. It's got 4 stars. I've also used an alternative. It's called redirect or redirection. And that one, what it does, that comes up and says, if someone's tried to go to a page and they've gotten a 404, then it will let me know, and then I can go ahead and redirect that particular page until I can fix it to the home page or to a different page on the website. So broken link checker, and you can also look at redirect. I think it's either redirect or redirection, but that's also the kind of equivalent. Custom login. If you're building websites for clients, this is nice and sexy. This is what mine looks like. So it's really easy. It's obviously custom login is free. It only affects the main login screen, the WP admin. So when they go, you can go ahead and add their logo and add a really nice background. It doesn't super affect the site speed. It's just nice. So you want to make them happy. So I recommend custom login. I think it's only got about 10,000 current active users at the moment, but it should have more because I like it. Pinterest pin it button. So Pinterest is still extremely important. I recommend if you do have any kind of pictures on your website that are related to what you do, then go ahead and have this pin it hover button. It's nice and handy. So when you hover over, it comes up with pin it. You can also do it in a grid. So let's say if you have an Instagram widget right at the bottom of your screen in the footer, then you can go ahead and pin those two. Really nice and handy, 6,000 active installs. It's got a really high rating. I've used it on 4 of the websites I've built now, no issues. So, and then I've also tried a couple of different ones. There's this one called Pinterest Button. Wasn't a huge fan of that one. This one's nice, easy, and it's user-friendly. So if you're not very tech-savvy, this one's perfect for you. CPO short codes. So this is by far my best friend. So now we're talking about kind of content and layout. The amount of times that I've been given a website or someone said, listen, this is what I'm working with, and it's just a flat canvas, and they've given me just heaps and heaps of paragraphs of content, and I've got to make it look great. So even from the last presentation with Dan, he was talking about, one, you've got like skippers, scanners, and then you've got readers. I need to be able to write for these people. So I need to make sure that things are broken up with images. I need columns. This helps me do that, and it gives me a lot of extension. So it's got basic elements, so I can change all the columns. So instead of having to do all your div tags and kind of do heaps of HTML coding, this makes it really nice and easy. It has buttons, accordions. It has the team member. I'm currently using that on the Superpower Digital website. It really extends what you can do. So I think that if you're bored, you're looking for a little bit more options instead of writing just a standard paragraph all the way down and don't want to be doing a lot of HTML coding, then this is by far the best for you. It also has the pricing table. One thing to let you know, I think it's this pricing table, I think, can you even see it? There's actually, where it says $19, it's like an opaque orange. You can't actually do that. So I originally, I downloaded this and I tried to get that exact look, and I want to get the lines and different alternate colors on each line. You can't do it. Spoke to the support and they said originally you could, but then they went ahead and did an update, and now it's just, you can have lines in between them, but you can't have the alternate colors. So obviously it's one of those things where I uploaded the plugin, and then I went to support to be like, I just can't get it to work. It doesn't look like that. But it's still really nice and it's responsive. So it works on mobile. So I recommend it, but keep an eye on exactly what you want and don't necessarily trust the images they send you, because those images are old. Short Codes Ultimate. I was doing a web search last night of the 50 top best plugins of 2015, and I was spewing when I saw this because I was like, damn it, I just released a website and I so could have used these. So these give you heaps of options. There's obviously gallery, YouTube video, team members, accordions, side pages. There's testimonials, a scheduler. There's heaps, and it's free. I kind of freaked out and got really geeked out, and I was like, oh! So I can't wait to go ahead and use it when I go home. But heaps of installs. I'd recommend it. So I'm a super geek. If you want to extend how everything looks, or you're just not wanting to go for individual kind of member plugins, you're wanting something that's all encompassing, then this is definitely it. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to start using it on every single website I own. Helloify. This is probably the holy grail of any of the plugins that I've ever had. So this one is a tiny little contact button right at the bottom of your page. It almost looks like a bookmark or a tab. And when you are logged in, so you can log into Helloify, you have a username and password, and the minute you log in, the screen that pops up is like, hi, do you want to contact me? And there's my face. So from 8:30 to 5:30, if you come to my website and then go, oh, hey Selina, what are you doing? And then I'll go, oh, I'm drinking a cup of tea and I'm working on a website. So I can live talk to you. And that's exactly how it looks on the left. So the customers, so I can see everyone that I've spoken to. And even if I'm away from my desk, it will ping me and it will send me an email. And it will say, oh, Dan's waiting for you to contact him back. He asked this question. And then there it is in quotations. So it's really great. If someone's not too sure about something on your website, then they can go ahead and ask you directly. It's really user-friendly. And if you're not there, it comes up with send us a message. So it's a nice contact form. It also has your phone number, your address, and it also has the Google map. Setting that up was so easy. And it's insane how easy it was, and I can't believe they're not charging for it. So probably download it now before they start charging for it. But really, really good. If you want to see it actively working, if you've got a Mac, look at the Blue Wire Media website, so bluewiremedia.com.au. They've got it, it's in the bottom right-hand corner, and we've also got it with Superpower Digital. I'm pretty sure the guys are actually online, so you might even be able to have a chat to them. Great. Feed them social. So I've just installed this one on the Brisbane Golf Club website. So this one's really handy. With most Facebook and Twitter plugins, you can't actually show, or feed plugins, you can't actually show the images. So images don't come up. So unfortunately I missed this one, but just below it, it did actually have a big picture of the golf ball because we rendered the Brisbane Golf Club logo on there. So this one does actually come with the images. One thing to know about this one though is that if you get the free version, the Feed Them Social plugin won't limit the amount of updates that it shows. So if you just want to have one page dedicated to, hey, this is what our Instagram looks like, that's great. Or you have to pay $16 to be able to say, listen, I only want to see 2 plugins or 3 plugins. Advanced Client Manager. If you are a freelancer and you don't want to have Xero or Harvest app to go ahead and track your time and do invoicing, this can go ahead and do it for you. So it's basically like a Basecamp. So you can add in all of your clients, all their contact details, and then your project. So you can do your project management, what you're working on, and then you can even go ahead and invoice them and see when you've been paid. So this is nice and handy. You can get this one from Code Canyon. It's $20 US to go ahead and get. And if you look, it's got the client manager, contact manager, project, task manager, invoice, so it obviously does your tax, item management, and it's a super easy install. I know 2 freelancers that are currently using this, and they've had no issue with it, and the actual invoices that come out look great. Easy digital downloads. So I'm a huge fan of WooCommerce, and I probably haven't mentioned it today because everyone knows about WooCommerce, they're amazing. But I find it quite hard if I'm just doing PDFs or I'm just trying to get people to pay for a webinar or something that's PDF. So easy digital downloads kind of helps me do that. So it's a shopping cart. It allows me to see what the kind of reports are looking like. And people can go ahead and pay through there. I can see who's paid. I've got customer details. Super easy. Micro-themer. For anyone, and I have to use this because I don't have a development background, there are some things on a website that I just can't change. I find it really hard, like if I have a space or I'm trying to change the sizing of a font or very tiny things, this is my front-end visual editor. So I can go ahead and, a lot like Word, I can just highlight it and then hit font and change. Super easy. So it's absolutely worth getting this if you're not super tech savvy. So it's $49. This one's also from Code Canyon, and I had to use it on 3 different websites. It will save you from having to go to a developer and paying like $120 an hour. And this is my last one. This is my big procrastinating tool. I ask if some clients want this. So if you go to superpowerdigital.com.au/404, you can play Pac-Man. And this is my procrastinating tool. So if I get really sick of writing a blog post or writing anything, or running content, then I'll just go 404. And then I'll go to Pac-Man. There's also a / for Mario. One thing though, this is Flash. So don't even bother putting it on people's websites. But for you as a developer, or if it's your own website, if you're just looking for a little bit of fun, go ahead and play a game. That's what I do. Are there any questions? Sorry, so much plugins.
We've got about 10 minutes for questions. So yeah, if anyone has any questions for Selina. Thank you, Selina.
Yeah.
I was just wondering with the cache plugin, whether that can cause issues with some of the backup plugins.
Yeah, it can. So have a look in the support section. It does actually say, in the support area, there's some people that have had Wordfence, or it works really good with W3 security, which I think they're trying to get you to partner with. But yeah, have a look though, because it'll say it in installation, and then also have a look in the 5-star rating. You'll see some people who have said, listen, it crashed, don't know why, and then there'll usually be a reply which says, do you have this particular install? So just keep an eye on it. Like, the best thing to do is read about the plugins that you go ahead and eventually plan to use. Yes?
Just wondering the Wordfence security plugin operates alongside other security plugins, or if you find you don't need any others?
I'd keep it as a standalone. No, it's really powerful, and I think that if you're planning on having heaps of different security plugins, they're going to eventually clash. So if you want kind of a full suite, then go ahead and just pay I think it's $19. Or is anyone using the Wordfence Premium? No. I mean, if you're using the actual premium, if you want a full hardcore, security, then probably pay for the premium, but don't add extra plugins that do the exact same thing. I think if you're doing that, that's really great with like CPO shortcodes and just custom shortcodes. That's great. That's just going to extend what you can do. But if you're looking at ones, like I wouldn't have multiple color boxes or multiple price tables or stuff in there. They're just going to start to clash. It wouldn't work.
This is our last question.
Do you find that a lot of plugin developers are focusing mainly on the WordPress platform, or are they starting to look at things like Cherry Framework as well?
I found mostly WordPress, but I think that once the demand increases, then they'll move over. But no, I think I only work in WordPress, so I've only really had to be speaking to people directly about, listen, I need this plugin either fixed or I need it to work. So, great.
Can everyone join me to thank Selina for her amazing talk today?
Thank you.